Welcome to the second video on recreational fishing. As a fisheries manager, you're going to necessarily be concerned with the sustainability of the stocks, but then again, we also know that money makes the world go around, and there are going to be people who are vying for those stocks. There are going to be people who want to make money off of tourism, to be able to, they're interested in a large healthy stock so people can go and scuba dive and charter fishing and other industries that make money off of the tourism. They're the recreational fishers that want a lot of fish to be there for their enjoyment, and then there are going to be commercial fishers who are trying to make a buck off of the resource as well. And so as a fisheries manager, you're going to have to balance the needs of those people, and generally where money is being made and taxes are generated, then those people tend to have a lot of influence in making laws and getting access to resources. So is recreational fishing economically and environmentally important? So this is something that you're going to need to keep in mind. So let's look at a couple of statistics. In the U.S. alone, 12 million recreational saltwater fishers. This is just saltwater, so it doesn't include any of those bass fishing tournaments and the like. They generate $30 billion in economic impact and support 350,000 jobs. Quite a lot of people counting on recreational fishing, and there being a little bit of fish to catch in order to feed their families and have a job. And if we look at this other world statistic, 11.5% of the world's population engages in recreational fishing, and 11 million tons of fish are caught. So that's a very large amount of fish, and that will have an impact on populations, obviously. That's about 1 in 10 people go recreationally fishing every year, and in New Zealand, we're talking about 1 in 3 go recreationally fishing once a year or so. So what are some of the activities that are generated, economic activities that are generated from recreational fishing? Well, a lot of people who buy boats probably wouldn't buy them if they didn't think that they could go out and catch a fish off of them. All right, and that generates taxes, all the sales, all of the maintenance of those boats. Okay, new motors and maintenance. All right, so these things have to be, if you're going to buy a motor, you have to have it serviced every once in a while, or if it breaks, it has to be taken care of, fixed, just like your car. And so you've got retail outlets and mechanics, then they all pay taxes on what they sell. Alright, there's a massive variety now of fishing tackle at the stores. You could pay over $100 for a kingfish stick bait, which is like a surface lure, for one lure, and probably 150 to 200 for some of the marlin lures, some of the more expensive marlin lures. And all of that generates taxes as well. Bait production, burley, all of the small fish that are and squid that are sold, that all produces sales and taxes and fuel. So we have road user charges that are added to fuel that goes into boats, which are not driving on the road. They're being trailered on the road, but that's another story. But there are a lot of taxes on every liter of fuel that you buy. And so you're going to be paying, as a recreational fisher, you're generating a little bit of tax income. And here's just a little funny one that I came up with, because there's a guy that I know up the road at a kiwi fruit orchard that makes a little money on the side through all the game fishers. They catch a marlin, and they've got 150 kilos worth of meat that they have no idea what to do with, or they obviously can't eat that much while it's fresh. They might not have the freezer space, so he's takes those fillets and he smokes the marlin, and packages it or cans it for those fishers for a fee. So he's built a little bit of in a business for himself that way. And here's me just goofing around. And there are other industries as well, like the boat stack, and all of these things generate taxes. So there's a lot of income for the government off of recreational fishing. However, that a lot of it is in taxes. If you think about the where most of the products that are used in recreational fishing come from, most of them come offshore though. So recreational fishing, even though it generates a lot of taxes here in New Zealand, most of what we use to recreationally fish is produced offshore and imported. And so therefore you have a net drain on resources in a way where we're paying other countries to produce what we're using, which means that we contribute to the trade deficit. So it's a two-edged sword. The government makes money from taxes, but then we're sending a lot of money overseas to buy the products from recreational fishing. Okay, hopefully that will help you frame the economic background as a fisheries manager for recreational fisheries.